Uh, I'm Tom, ACA, and I'm going to read from the Strengthening My Recovery Daily Reader uh, about long-term trauma. Through the first 18 years of our life, our families had 6,570 days to shame, belittle, ignore, criticize, or manipulate us during the formative years of our being. Big Red Book, page 105. How could we have turned out any other way? We grew up in dysfunction, and it's not our fault we were affected by it. We were just children. All we knew of the world was what we were shown by our parents. The people, the people we were hardwired to trust and emulate. It's not our fault we didn't find a way to stop the abuse. We learned the language of abuse just as we learned to speak our native tongue. It was automatic. We're not whining, overthinking it, or making mountains out of molehills. Our laundry list traits are legitimate reaction to long-term trauma. The good news is that something magical happens when we accept we are powerless over our childhood trauma and its effect on us. Doesn't mean we give up and let it have power over us. The opposite happens. It loses power over us. We begin to have choice about how we respond to the dysfunction. We begin to have choice about how we respond when the dysfunction manifests itself in our adult lives. It's like admitting there's a leak in the roof, and now we can put a bucket on the floor, change out of our wet clothes, and fix the roof. And we could do it without guilt because the leak was already there before we came along. On this day, I embrace the freedom that comes from accepting there is nothing I could have done to prevent the dysfunction I grew up in and the effects it had on me. So I'll just share a little bit. This one, really is the physical trauma I feel from the dysfunction I grew up in is really what got me into ACA. It's the body pain that I experienced over that I've had that from stuffing feelings, from really I think it's and from living in chaos, and those things forced me to stop my life about 4.5 years ago, and I found ACA through experiencing an amount of physical pain and nerve issues through my nervous system that couldn't be explained by traditional medicine. And it had me searching for other possibilities. And ACA was suggested by my sister, actually, who has similar physical issues. And through reading the laundry list and starting to go to a lot of meetings, I came to understand that I have this stored trauma in my body, and really that's the core of it all. And my traits and everything I did to get into this, or to follow the patterns that I as the reading says, that it couldn't have turned out any other way. I have trouble accepting that sometimes, and it's the way it is. Like in the spirit of if you've heard of the book by Gabor Mate, The Myth of Normal, that's what the whole book is about. Is that from how I grew up, what I'm experiencing now should be considered normal. It's not that I'm experiencing disease or I have issues, physical issues with my body. This is the normal response a body would have from growing up in that kind of chaos. And so in that way, that gives me a little peace. And my work now is to find peace and in some form or another, every moment of every day. It's work in progress. I still have lots of aches and pains, and this journey has been one of the most significant and most meaningful parts of my life. So, um, thanks for listening.